Jana Nagase. I'm here today for Hollywood Critics Association. Hi, Nick.
How are you?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. A pleasure to be talking to you on behalf of the association. Really liked you on the movie, and your character is very particular. And but why do you think Tyler needs to be like want to be so accepted, so loved by everybody, one especially for the chef?
Thank you. That's yeah. That is the thing about Tyler. I think he's very uncomfortable in his own skin, and he does really want to be accepted and find his place in the world, I guess, and prove that, to Chef that he's smart and he understands what he's doing, but he's actually taking out all the mystery from it as well at the same time, and kind of ruining that creative process. So it's a fun character to play for that because he is someone who is so entwined in the experience and believes that he's the person who can get the most from it, but then gradually just gets unpicked and it all falls apart because, he's on. It's built all on falsehoods, I suppose. Him and his reasoning and for being there, but also his whole life probably he's desperate to be accepted and fails in this moment that he's probably built up for years in his brain. So it's humiliating for him.
Yes, yes, it is. So how's like your conversations to Mark to develop and the approach to play Tyler?
Mark's such an incredible director in terms of, first of all, balancing what's in the script and working out, the moments that we can start to get flashes of what's real beneath this false surface that Tyler and Margot are both projecting as a couple and to each other, and kind of get glimpses of what's going on underneath the hood of them. But then also before that, talking to him about this how Tyler and Chef Slowick have communicated before, what he knew, how he went about this evening and what he believes is going to happen. So it's fun because a lot of these characters in this film, they don't explain themselves in a way where suddenly you go, oh, this is their big speech and this is what makes sense, and you're figuring out why they're there and what makes them tick. It's gradually just small little hints throughout, and so that's fun as an actor because you kind of have all this backstory and knowledge that you're just trying to distill in different moments.
So now let's talk about your talk about Anya. How's like work with her in your interaction with her? You guys are so good, it's like you guys are funny at the same time, you guys are weird at the same time. How's work with her?
Oh, I loved working with Anya. She's so dedicated and smart and really demands the best from each moment in creating her character and telling the story. So it's exciting because there'll be the scene on the page, but then Anya will really examine it in a way that she'll figure out the truth of what Margot's doing in that beat and what she's performing, and then she has this ability to drop the veil and show Erin, the character's real name, for a split second before putting on the facade of Margot again, and then continuing. And it's a joy to be in scenes with her and watch that, but also to develop ideas and see how she improves everything.
Yeah, now let's talk a little bit about the food. I want to try all the dishes that you guys receive on the table. And how was that? Like, it was a real food? Do you have like a favorite one? Talk a
Yeah,
little bit.
it was real food, and the menu was beautifully designed by Dominique Crenn, and then John Beignet, a chef in Savannah, was also on set helping to create all the dishes and make them look as beautiful as they are. So one of the joys for me of shooting this film was that I got to sit there and eat all these incredible dishes. I think the toughest day was probably when it was the bread eating day. I did eat probably like 50 loaves of bread that day, which is a lot even for me. And I think the only time we were eating something that wasn't what it was described as really was the scallop dish was actually a potato for some of those shots, because to have raw scallops on set all day under the lights was probably not a sensible thing.
Yeah, it maybe looks better on screen and when you see it. Do you have like a favorite dish that you ate on set?
There was one dish that was kind of like a crispy thing with kind of melon balls and snow, I think they described it. I can't remember exactly what the dish was described as, but that was a good day for eating.
The movie, there is some shock moments, some funny moments. What do you think like people like the message behind? What do you think people are gonna take out of this movie?
I think everyone will take something else out, but it's funny that you picked up on those shock moments because, you know, when we started the shoot, there was probably a week or two where it felt like we were just on a nice dinner, you know, with slightly eerie, bizarre moments. But then there's a real turning point in the film when something very shocking happens. And I think even for all of us as actors that day being on set, the way it was filmed and the performances was so real that it was quite a horrific thing to kind of witness. And from that moment on, then the film is kind of off to the races and becomes quite intense. So I think, yeah, in terms of what people would take away, it's interesting because we've probably all been at meals or different restaurants and either seen groups of people that we were like, I don't know if I'm liking the vibe that they're putting off or how they're treating people around them, and so there'll be different things that people zone in with each of these tables and different characters that will affect them, and that they'll take away, I think.
Yes, yes. I love you on the movie, and I think you did a really, really good job. So, but before we go, can you tease us anything about Renfield?
Yes, Renfield. It's the story of Dracula's familiar, his assistant, who's been working for him for a long time, and they're kind of a codependent relationship. But he's decided he wants to get out of it. So I would hopefully describe it as Devil Wears Prada meets Deadpool.
That's amazing. Nick, this the time that I have with you. I just want to thank you so much for your time. A lot of success always, and keep going. You're so talented. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Have a
Bye-bye.
good one.